we're going to take a minute and talk about dad's health. You know, lots of men, including my men, both my dad and my husband, absolutely hate going to the doctor. My husband Bob recently went to Aurora BayCare to have his first physical, I'm very sad to say, in more than 20 years. 20 years! I mean, he'd go if he had a cold, he'd go in or something like that, but he never really went for a full physical. It's been a while. After the routine exam, including some in-depth parts we couldn't show, Bob had some blood work done to check his cholesterol and glucose levels, plus many others, and today it's time for the results.
Bob.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Well, I got some lab tests back for you.
All right.
All right. Let's go through those. First and foremost, your physical exam was completely normal.
Okay.
I didn't find anything that was questionable, out of the ordinary. Your vital signs look great. I think you're in good shape. We talked a little bit about preventative maintenance exercise, and that still holds true. I wouldn't change any of the advice I gave you.
Okay.
Okay. At your age, I would expect you to start taking a baby aspirin, enteric-coated baby aspirin a day, just for heart health, a multivitamin, and it sounds like you're already exercising at least 3 times a week. Here's a computerized copy of all your labs, and here we see a complete blood count, and there's a lot of little indices here. The ones I'm really concerned about is your hematocrit and your hemoglobin, and those are normal, so you're not anemic.
Okay.
Your platelet count is adequate, so that if you get cut, you will form a clot, and your white count was normal. Also, your red blood cell count was normal, so I know your marrow is working fine. I go down here, and your albumin and BUN, creatinine, etc., that is basically your nutrition and how well your kidneys are working. One that I am concerned about was your glucose. Your glucose is mildly elevated at 104. Normal is less than 100. Between 101 and 125, I would consider that impaired fasting glucose.
All right. Could that have anything to do with what I had the night before to eat?
Absolutely. If you were not fasting a full 12 hours or had a very sweet meal or heavy carbohydrate meal the night before, this could be skewed. Is that the case?
I had some breads with some dip, and then I also had some chocolates afterwards.
Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to recheck your glucose after you have moderation in your diet. You don't have all the carb intake. We're going to go ahead and recheck that and do another 12-hour fasting glucose.
Sure.
Okay? Because that could probably be erroneous. Here we're going down your liver enzymes, your AST, ALT. These are all normal. You have a healthy liver. Your electrolytes are all normal. And when we start dealing with your cholesterol, your total cholesterol is just slightly high at 205. But there's no molecule that says cholesterol. We break it up into fractions. The high-density lipoprotein, the low-density lipoprotein, triglycerides, and there's another one called VLDL.
Okay.
Here we have high-density lipoproteins. That's high. 57 is very high. Normally I would want somebody who has had a heart attack or has diabetes to have that above 40.
So the HD that's the good stuff?
The good stuff is very high in you.
Okay, all right.
Your bad cholesterol, your LDL, is at 113. For someone who has no risk factors that is healthy, I want it to be 130 or less, and at 113 you're there. Your triglycerides are slightly high at 176. However, knowing that you had a big sugar meal the night before, that'll make your triglycerides go up a little bit. So I wouldn't be real concerned, just 26 points too high. I would just give you a handout on diet and exercise.
Sure.
Other than that, your thyroid is perfect and your PSA is normal range.
Great.
Your labs look good.
All right. Well, that's kind of comforting after 20 plus years.
Right. You've been taking care of yourself.